Welcome to Video Session 2, Removals, Replacements, and Adjustments. In this session, you will learn the removal and replacement procedures of selected components and the adjustments for the 4610 printer. You may want to refer to the removals in the hardware service manual as we do them. This is the 4610 Removals and Replacements. In this session, we will show you how to perform the following removals: the covers, the printer mechanism, the ribbon drive motor, the transport motor, the impact print head, the print head carriage, the thermal print head, the logic cards, and the Micker read head. This is cover removal. As with all removals, we will start with all power and system cables and connectors unplugged. First, we will remove the ribbon cover and the paper cover. These covers do not have to be removed to remove the top cover, as you will see later. Open the ribbon cover. Now press the cover to the left until it clears its mounting studs and lift it off. To replace the cover, place it as shown, press it to the rear, and slide it onto its mounting studs. This tab will not be in its normal position. To reset it, close the cover and then reopen it. The tab will now be in its normal position. Open the paper cover. Place a screwdriver under the cover as shown and carefully lower the cover. This will unsnap the cover from its mounting. Do the same thing on the left side. At this point, the cover is still connected to the thermal print head. With the cover positioned as shown, slide the cover towards the front to disengage it from the print head. Notice how the paper cover is mounted to the top cover. To replace the paper cover, place it as shown and snap it onto the top cover. Make sure the thermal guide is pulled forward when you install the cover. Now raise the print head and snap it and the paper cover together. To remove the top cover, open the paper cover and remove the roll of paper. Next, remove the flipper cover. Simply raise the front edge and lift it out. Open the ribbon cover. The top cover is held on by this stud, the front latch, the rear inside latch, and a latch on this part of the cover. Now pull forward on the cover until it clears the stud and the front latch. Then pull out and up on this part of the cover until it unlatches. While raising up on the cover, pull forward on the rear inside latch until the cover is released. Now carefully lift the cover off. You may have to reposition the paper cover until it is free of the thermal print head. Once the cover is off, you must be careful not to press down on the left side of the carriage assembly. With the cover off, the carriage assembly is only supported on the right side. To replace the top cover, open both the ribbon and paper covers. Position the cover over the machine. Before you lower it into place, make sure the thermal guide is held in a vertical position. Then lower the cover into place. Pull forward on the front of the cover and place it over the stud. Press down on the rear until it's latched. Push in and down on the cover until it snaps into place. Raise the paper cover and the thermal print head and snap them together. To replace the flipper cover, slide it to the rear and press it into place. This completes cover removal and replacement. This is printer mechanism removal. We will start the removal with the covers off and all cables and connectors disconnected. First, remove the ribbon by grasping this tab and lifting it out. Next, remove the flipper cartridge by grasping this tab and lifting it out. Turn the front shock plug to a horizontal position and pull it out. Next, disconnect these 10 connectors from the main logic card. While you raise the front of the printer mechanism, unplug the 11th connector. Now grasp the printer mechanism on the right side as shown and carefully raise it up until it comes out of the bottom cover. These rubber shock mounts go under the tabs in the bottom cover and over these posts. To replace the printer mechanism, place it as shown over the bottom cover, making sure that none of the cables are trapped under the printer. Place the shock mounts under the tabs and over the posts. After the printer is in the bottom cover, raise the front of it and plug in this connector. Then lower the printer assembly into place. Replace the shock plug. Hold the plastic tab as shown to make it easier to insert. Rotate it 90 degrees. Now reconnect the 10 remaining cables to the main logic card. Replace the flipper cartridge. When the covers are replaced, the printer assembly removal and replacement exercise is complete. This is ribbon drive motor removal and replacement. To do this removal, you will only have to remove the top cover. Next, remove the shock plug. Unplug the ribbon motor connector. Now raise the front of the printer and unlatch the ribbon motor latch. Slide the assembly to the front, out of the printer. To reinstall the motor, raise the front of the printer, place the motor as shown, and slide it to the rear until it latches. Reconnect the ribbon motor connector and replace the shock mount. When the top cover is replaced, the ribbon drive motor removal and replacement exercise is complete. This is transport motor removal. To remove the transport motor, you will only have to remove the top cover. Remove the ribbon drive motor. Press the belt tension pulley to the right and take the belt off of the transport motor pulley. Unplug the motor connector and remove the 2 motor screws. Raise the front of the printer assembly and lift the motor out. Replace the motor with the connector to the rear and reinstall the mounting screws. Reconnect the connector to the main logic card. Press the tension pulley to the right and reinstall the belt. Reinstall the ribbon drive motor and shock mount. When the top cover is replaced, the transport motor removal and replacement exercise is complete. This is impact printhead removal and replacement. To remove the impact printhead, you only have to open the ribbon cover and remove the ribbon. The impact printhead is held in place by this screw. Remove the screw and lift up on the printhead. Disconnect the ribbon cable and remove the printhead. Notice that the wires in the printhead sit at an angle instead of vertically. To replace the printhead, reconnect the ribbon cable and place the printhead into the carriage. Replace and tighten the mounting screw. This completes the impact printhead removal and replacement exercise. This is printhead carriage removal and replacement. To do this removal, you will have to remove the covers. With the covers removed, remove the printhead. Very carefully unplug the ribbon cable from the home sensor. Slide the ribbon cable to the rear from under the lugs and carefully work it out of the carriage. Press on the tension pulley and remove the belt from the transport motor pulley. Remove the belt from the tension pulley. This is the rear transport shaft. It is mounted by eccentric bushings. These bushings provide the adjustment for the printhead gap. Notice the ears on the right bushing and the notches in the side frame. Rotate the bushings until the ears line up with the notches. Slide the bushing and shaft to the right out of the printer. Raise the rear of the carriage and pull the front of the carriage off of the guide rail. While the carriage is out, notice the mounting of the belt and the home sensor. Also, make sure the belt is in this position when you replace the carriage. This lug on the carriage operates the toggle lever when the carriage moves to the right. The toggle lever moves the flipper mechanism that flips the check on the model TI-2 printer. This lug operates the document insert lever that moves the DI backup roller away from the DI feed roller. To replace the carriage, line up this slot with the lug on the slider on the guide rail and lay the carriage in place. Replace the transport shaft and rotate the bushing to lock it into place. We will adjust it later. Replace the belt on the tension and motor pulleys. Carefully work the ribbon cable into the carriage and place it under the carriage lugs. Reconnect the cable to the sensor and the print head. Reinstall the print head screw. Move the carriage to the position shown and replace the ribbon. Make sure it is installed directly in front of the print head and behind the shield as shown. You will have to turn the knob during installation. This completes the print head carriage removal and replacement exercise. This is thermal print head removal and replacement. To remove the thermal print head, you only have to remove the top cover. Start by unplugging these 3 connectors. Next, cut this tie wrap. Be careful not to cut any wires. Remove the print head cover. It is held on by these 4 studs. Pull the cover off of these 2 studs. Then remove the cover. Remove this clip and disconnect the drag strip from the print head assembly. Lift the thermal latch spring, squeeze it together, and remove it and the print head assembly. Place the new assembly in position and install the spring. Reattach the drag strip and replace the print head cover. Replace the wire tie Reconnect the 3 connectors. When the top cover is replaced and the print head is adjusted, the thermal print head removal and replacement exercise is complete. This is logic cards removal and replacement. To remove the logic cards, you will have to remove the covers and the printer assembly. There are 2 logic cards, the main logic card and the interface card. Make sure you use your static wrist strap when working in this area. The main logic card rests in slots molded in the bottom cover. When you replace this card, make sure the shield is outside the slot, not inside the slot with the card. The interface card is held in place on the front with this latch, and on the rear with these 2 lugs. To remove the cards, unlatch this latch and very carefully raise the front of the interface card until it is free. Then lift out both cards. Notice the RFI shield that connects both cards. It is very important that this shield be kept intact, exactly as it was originally. Do not modify it in any way. Also, make sure that you do not press the shield against the components on the card, as it is possible to puncture the shield and short out the card. To remove the main logic card from the EMC shield, remove these 2 screws and fold the shield down. Early level machines had nuts on these screws. Later level machines have the nuts built into the card. Unplug these 2 connectors and remove the card. To replace the main logic card, plug in both connectors. Fold up the shield and replace the 2 screws. Use the same procedure to remove the interface card. Remove these 2 screws and unplug these 2 connectors. To replace the cards, place them in position with the rear of the interface card under its rear lugs. Then carefully press down on the interface card until it latches into place. Check to make sure the shield is not in the slot with the card. If you replace the logic cards, you will have to set the printer model using the service diskette. You will learn how to do this in diagnostics. Replacing the printer mechanism and the covers completes the logic card removal and replacement exercise. This is Micker reed head removal and replacement. To do the Micker reed head removal, you just have to remove the top covers. Start by moving the carriage to the middle. The next thing we need to do is unplug the connector for the Micker reed head. Remove the rubber plug and raise the printer mechanism enough to unplug it. Raise the thermal printhead assembly and work the cable out as shown here. This is the impact printhead platen. It is spring-loaded to the front by this spring. It is held in place by this shaft and two spring clips, one on each end of the shaft. Use your spring hook to remove the spring from the platen. Place the end of the spring over this shield. This will keep it in place for reinstallation. Disconnect the spring clip on each end of the shaft. Slide the platen assembly to the rear and lift it out. Remove this spring just to the right of the Micker reed head. Remove the Micker head mounting screw. Remove the belt from the transport pulley. Remove the rear carriage shaft. Lift the rear of the carriage and slip it off the front carriage shaft. Pull the DI sensor toward the front to provide clearance for removing the Micker reed head. Now carefully move the head to the right and work it off the stud. To replace the head, place it over the stud and slide it to the left. Replace the mounting screw. Reconnect the spring. Work the Micker head cable down through the machine and reconnect it to the main logic card. Replace the shock plug. Replace the platen and reinstall the spring clips. Reinstall the platen spring. When the covers are replaced, the Micker reed head removal and replacement exercise is complete. This is the 4610 printer adjustment exercise. There are 5 adjustments on the 4610. We will demonstrate 3 of them here. Refer to Chapter 2, Adjustment Procedures, in your hardware service manual as we go through the adjustments. This is Adjustment 2, Printhead Platen Gap Adjustment. We will not demonstrate Adjustment 1. To perform this adjustment, you will have to remove the top covers. Also, the printer mechanism must be installed in the bottom cover, the flipper cover must be installed, and the thermal print mechanism must be closed. Start by rotating the left and right printhead gap bushings so their screw slots are vertical. Move the printhead carriage to the right end of the platen as shown. Insert the printhead gap gauge between the nose of the printhead and the ribbon guide. Adjust the right bushing so the gauge just spans the distance between the print head and the ribbon guide. Move the carriage to the left end of the platen. Adjust the left bushing so the gauge just spans the distance between the print head and the ribbon guide. Recheck the adjustment at both ends of the platen and readjust if necessary. When the covers are replaced and you've run the offline print test successfully, the adjustment is complete. This is Adjustment 3, Document Insert Open Lever Adjustment. To perform this adjustment, you will have to remove the top cover. Start this adjustment by positioning the carriage so it is 2 millimeters or 78 thousandths of an inch from the right side frame. Adjust the DI adjustment bushing to get a clearance of 2.5 millimeters or 98 thousandths of an inch between the backup roller bushing and the side frame as shown. Remember, adjustments 1, 2, and 3 must be made in order and together. If you make one adjustment, you must make all 3. When you have replaced the covers and successfully run the offline print tests, the adjustment is complete. This is Adjustment 4, Thermal Printhead Adjustment. To perform this adjustment, you will have to remove the paper cover. With the paper cover off, remove the thermal printhead cover by pulling it off these 2 lugs and lifting it off. Then close the thermal printhead assembly. Loosen both of these shoulder screws and slide the printhead to the rear of its slots. Run the thermal customer receipt station test using the service diskette. You will learn how to do this in Lesson 4, Diagnostics. As the test is printing, slide the printhead towards the front of the machine until the print is the most dense and even from side to side. Then tighten the shoulder screws. When you have replaced the covers, the adjustment is complete. This completes Video Session 2, Removals, Replacements, and Adjustments. Stop the tape and return to your student guide.